2033. We're seeing the mix of traffic growing and changing at the airport as well. Back in 1985, for example, the traffic we saw was split pretty well 50-50 between the domestic passenger and the international. Last year, what we saw was about 60% of the traffic that arrived at the airport was international travelers, so U.S. and international, and that aligns nicely with what Andrew was telling you a few minutes ago. We look ahead, and what we're seeing is that's going to continue to get an even larger number of international passengers, to the point where by about 2033, 70% of the travelers at the airport will be international. We also track what we call a connecting passenger versus an origin destination being that passenger that starts or stops their trip here in Toronto. So right now we're about 70% origin destination and 30% connecting. That percentage split will stay about the same over time as we grow, but the actual real numbers is going to change significantly. Right now we have about 12 million of our passengers are connecting through the airport, and that's going to grow to about 19 million when we look about 2033. When we compare ourselves to other major global hub airports, we're second to JFK in terms of international traffic in North America. Very closely, if you look at the numbers, we're sitting at about 23 million international passengers, and JFK, we're just hot on their tails. They have about 28 million passengers. We know the airport plays a significant role to support the economy. Most of the traffic and aviation demand really is strictly tied to our economy and growth in the economy. We can track back to show the percentage of GDP that the airport supports. Today, that's about 6% of Ontario's GDP, $35 billion, and about 277,000 jobs throughout the economy. Looking ahead, we know that that's going to continue to grow as our economy grows. About 7% of Ontario's GDP we expect will be supported by the airport by about 2030, and that's a significant number of jobs throughout the economy, 478,000. We look at our catchment areas in two ways. The first is we look at that driving distance, and again, those people that are going to get in their car and come to catch a flight. So what we have is the large population within this 3-hour drive time, 2.5 million people that then become passengers. We also look at the flying time. So within a 90-minute flight, we have 150 million people that potentially can catch a flight to come to Toronto Pearson to catch a flight. Take that out a bit further into that 2-hour flying time, and you're now looking at 200 million people. So a massive catchment area that we work to attract passengers to come and connect over Pearson for their flights. Given the growth that we're seeing and the demand for aviation, we are starting to think about how does a region